So it would not be rare or odd to see a Diddy, a Jay-Z, an Eve, a this or that, a Lil Kim. They would be out there for that. We randomly ran into him. Now, the second time we saw him, he was definitely out there and he had a show. Okay, he had a concert. And he was not paying my friend no mind. Like, we were all there and he was just like polite. And he was not flirting with no one. There was nothing going on. So I need y'all to stop with this false narrative. A blogger, Jackie Jasper of Hollywood Street King, put this story out in 2008 because he was fed it from my hating ass ex that was trying to ruin my reputation. So he was taking any little thing. Oh, she was doing this. It was doing. She's jealous that he hit on her, not her. It's not true, y'all. And y'all running with one source, and then Jaguar gets on and brings it back up, and y'all believe it. Now, I'm not saying that she don't say some real stuff. I don't know her like that. But when it comes to me, I was never Diddy's girl. And if you had an address, I would serve you. But you don't, okay? If you had an address, I would serve you. Can't serve the homeless. I saw him in Vegas at a party.
Tons of pretty women have been allowed to be at the tables, sections of celebs with no funny business just for the look, and that is a known fact. But people really ran with this story. I never seen them talk at Tao. To say she was pregnant by him is freaking bananas.
I saw him in Vegas at a party where Jay-Z was there, Diddy was there, my friend Cathy White that y'all keep trying to tie me into her death. It is not true. She was not having an affair with Jay-Z. She never told me she was messing with him. Matter of fact, when she died, she had a boyfriend. His name was Malcolm, and she died with him. I need y'all to stop this rumor that she was pregnant by Jay-Z. She never told me that. I never seen her pregnant. I seen her drinking. We went to Magic Mountain, Six Flags together and was on the rides. These are not things that people that are pregnant by superstars do. No. They try to protect that fetus. Okay? So I need y'all to stop, and people keep saying this, and it pisses me off. I'm sure it doesn't make her family feel good to constantly see this being brought up, that she was this mistress. She never told me. I met her in Memorial Day weekend in 2008, okay? I went to Vegas with my friend Nikki Chu, so go ask her, okay? I've been not saying her name. She introduced me to her. We stayed in the same hotel room because back.
What do you mean she's dead? You know, what happened to her? This was just a beautiful, young, seemingly healthy 28-year-old woman. I was told that she didn't have any health issues, you know, and it was very shocking to hear. And her colleague did not know what happened to her or how she died or why she died, but all she knew is that she was dead. So obviously when I heard this, it was very troublesome and disturbing to find out that this woman who possibly was gonna give me an exclusive story on her affair with one of the most powerful rappers in the world, that's very disturbing, and it certainly is very convenient for Jay-Z, isn't it, that she
all went to Magic Mountain together. And I hate that this girl who was such a beautiful girl is getting dragged. I met her I think it was like May when I went to Vegas, a mutual friend. We all hung out. And then we hung out that summer like a few months. And then some blogs started writing stories about her and him and me. And she just distanced herself from everybody and just was like, I'm not doing this, and took her away on social media. And then we didn't talk, and I was like, what? I go, I don't talk to blogs. I hate the whole tipping people off on the stuff. Like, I'm not into that. But I understood she was a very private person. And then, so we hung out for maybe 3 or 4 months. So when I say we weren't best friends, I wasn't trying to distance myself. I'm just trying to put it in context. We weren't besties. We were just getting to know each other. And about 2 weeks before she passed, I got a call from her out of nowhere. She's like, Claudia, who's that blogger that was saying all that stuff about us? I told her, yeah, you stay on my neck a lot. And she's like, yeah. And I think she's wanted to call and kind of squash it. I said, hey, I have nothing to lose right now, not for nothing.
Every once in a while, a celebrity rumor refuses to die. It just waits for the right moment to resurface. And right now, the whispers surrounding Jay-Z and the mysterious death of Cathy White are getting louder than ever. For years, the story sat in the shadows, dismissed as gossip. But now, a new narrative is bubbling up, and at the center of it is Claudia Jordan, a woman who once fiercely denied everything. The streets are claiming she was paid to defend him. Others say she knows far more than she ever admitted. And with fresh rumors suggesting she may finally be ready to talk, The question isn't just what happened to Cathy White. It's who has been working this whole time to control the story. Right now, something is shifting. A story that once lived in the corners of old blogs and message boards is suddenly resurfacing. Old interviews are being clipped. Archived articles are being reposted. Social media threads are gaining traction again. And at the center of this renewed attention is one of the most powerful names in music, Jay-Z. For years, the mysterious death of a woman named Cathy White has existed in the background of internet speculation. It was discussed, debated, dismissed, and eventually faded from mainstream attention. But recently, the whispers have returned, louder, more organized, and framed as unfinished business. What's different this time isn't necessarily new evidence. It's tone. People are asking questions again. They're revisiting timelines. They're reanalyzing interviews. And most importantly, they're focusing on one person who publicly addressed the rumors years ago, Claudia Jordan. The feeling online right now isn't about gossip. It's about re-examination. And whenever an old story resurfaces with new energy, it creates urgency. It makes audiences feel like something unresolved is being pulled back into the light. But before jumping to conclusions, we have to carefully unpack what is allegation, what is documented, and what is simply internet speculation that has taken on a life of its own. At the center of the resurface conversation is a claim that has circulated for years, that Cathy White allegedly had an affair with Jay-Z. The narrative that spread online suggested three key points: that there was a secret relationship, that she was considering going public, and that she died shortly after Beyoncé publicly announced her pregnancy in 2011. That timing, more than anything, became the fuel for speculation. To be very clear, there has never been verified public evidence confirming an affair. There has never been an official investigation linking Jay-Z to her death. The official cause of death was reported as a brain aneurysm. But online narratives don't always rely on proof. They rely on patterns, timing, and unanswered questions. The coincidence of dates is what continues to spark debate. In an internet culture, coincidence often becomes conspiracy in the absence of transparency. Still, coincidence alone is not confirmation. And that distinction matters. If this were just a rumor about two people, it might have faded entirely. But Claudia Jordan stepped into the conversation publicly, and that's why her name keeps resurfacing. She addressed the allegations directly in interviews, forcefully denying the affair narrative. Her main points were clear. She said they randomly ran into Jay-Z in Las Vegas, that it wasn't some secret setup. She denied that Cathy had any romantic relationship with him. She stated that Cathy had a boyfriend named Malcolm at the time. She called the pregnancy rumors ridiculous, and she insisted bloggers had fabricated or exaggerated the story. Claudia positioned herself not as someone hiding information, but as someone defending a friend who could no longer defend herself. In her telling, this wasn't scandal. It was gossip spiraling out of control. That public defense is why she remains central to the story. She didn't stay silent. She didn't dodge questions. She confronted them head on. And when someone speaks strongly in one direction, years later, audiences will naturally re-examine those statements when rumors resurface. Critics of the official narrative point to photographs showing Cathy and Claudia together in social settings. They highlight reports that they were present at Town nightclub in Las Vegas during a high-profile fight weekend where major celebrities, including Jay-Z, were also in attendance. To some observers, the repeated presence in similar circles suggested more familiarity than random run-ins. Others online have pointed to unverified claims about luxury gifts or carefully structured group outings designed to avoid attention. Again, these claims remain unproven and largely anecdotal, but they circulate widely in digital spaces. This is where doubt begins for many people. If the relationship was casual, why were there multiple social overlaps? If the rumors were entirely fabricated, why did they gain so much traction at the time? But it's important to note, social proximity in celebrity circles does not automatically equal secret relationships. Las Vegas during fight weekends is famously packed with overlapping guest lists. Contrast creates curiosity, but it does not equal proof. A reporter from a tabloid publication reportedly contacted Cathy White while investigating the alleged affair story. According to accounts shared later, the progression went something like this. First, denial. Then, being confronted with photo evidence of public outings. Then, discussion about possibly speaking further. And then, shortly after Beyoncé's pregnancy announcement, Cathy White died. Official reports stated the cause was a brain aneurysm. There is no verified evidence suggesting foul play, but the timing became the core of the internet narrative. When events happen close together, especially involving celebrities, the public often searches for connections, even when none are confirmed. This moment is where the story transforms from gossip into something darker in the minds of some observers. It's no longer just about an alleged affair. It becomes about what might have happened if someone was considering going public. Again, there is no official finding supporting that theory. But emotionally, for those who believe the timing is suspicious, this is where the questions linger the longest. And it's why the story never fully disappears. Officially, Cathy White's death was ruled a brain aneurysm, a sudden, natural medical event. No homicide ruling, no public criminal investigation tied to any celebrity. On paper, the case was straightforward. But in the earliest reports following her passing, there were mentions that an autopsy and toxicology tests were pending. As with many sudden deaths, officials initially wait for full medical confirmation before finalizing cause. That period of waiting, those in-between days where answers aren't yet formalized, is often where speculation takes root. Online observers later claimed that early uncertainty created room for doubt. Some said follow-up coverage faded unusually quickly. Others argued that in high-profile cases connected to powerful figures, media attention can cool down just as fast as it ignites. To be clear, there is no verified public evidence suggesting interference, suppression, or wrongdoing in the official determination of her death. However, unnamed sources in blog circles and entertainment gossip sites have long alleged that influence may have played a role in how aggressively the story was pursued. These claims have never been substantiated. They remain internet theory, not documented fact. Still, the pattern some people point to is this. Initial uncertainty, pending autopsy and toxicology, official ruling, rapid decline in mainstream coverage. For some, that sequence feels normal. For others, it feels incomplete. And in celebrity culture, perceived gaps often become the foundation for long-lasting mystery. The truth is, sudden aneurysms do happen. They are medically recognized and tragically unpredictable. But because this death occurred against a backdrop of swirling rumors involving one of the most powerful artists in the world, Jay-Z, the narrative never stayed purely medical in the public imagination. That tension between official explanation and public suspicion is what keeps the story alive. Years after the incident, a blind item began circulating online. It described an A-list host/model who allegedly believed privately that her friend's death was not natural and involved a powerful rapper. Internet communities quickly speculated about who the blind item referred to. Many concluded it was Claudia. There is no confirmed evidence that the blind item was about her. There is no statement from Claudia supporting the claim that she believed her friend was harmed. The blind item itself is anonymous and unverifiable. But the contrast is what fuels discussion. Publicly, Claudia has been unwavering. She denied any affair. She dismissed the pregnancy rumors. She insisted bloggers fabricated the story. She defended the narrative that there was nothing there. Yet the blind item suggests, without proof, that she may have harbored private doubts. That contradiction creates narrative tension. If she truly believed nothing happened, her defense makes sense. But if she had questions of her own, even quietly, why defend so strongly? Viewers are left with possibilities rather than answers. Is she protecting a friend's legacy? Is she protecting herself from legal exposure? Is she pushing back against what she sees as baseless defamation? Or is she navigating pressure none of us can see? The power of this section of the story lies in uncertainty. Not accusation, uncertainty. And uncertainty keeps people watching. One rumor suggests Claudia may have been present at Cathy's apartment after the 911 call was made. There is no official documentation publicly confirming this. The claim exists largely in blog archives and reposted threads. Another claim is that Claudia has addressed the situation repeatedly over the years, not simply to clarify, but to overcorrect, that the frequency of her denials signals something deeper. Of course, an equally logical explanation is that she continues to respond because the rumors continue to resurface. More recently, some online commentators speculate that she may one day reveal more about what the autopsy allegedly showed. There is no evidence that any alternate findings exist. The official cause remains a brain aneurysm. Then there's the broader expansion of the narrative. Some internet threads allege that Kim Porter, who passed away years later from pneumonia complications, may have known something related to the situation. There is no verified link connecting her to Cathy White's case in any official capacity. This connection exists purely in speculative online spaces. But once multiple high-profile names become attached to a narrative, even loosely, the mystery grows larger in the public imagination. The escalation works like this. From alleged affair, to sudden death, to questions about influence, to blind items, to secondary celebrity connections. Each layer amplifies intrigue, even without evidence changing. And by the time audiences reach this point in the story, the emotional momentum is strong. If Claudia truly knows nothing beyond what she said publicly, then her position has been consistent for years, and the internet simply refuses to let the rumor die. But if she knows more, even small details that could clarify timelines or context, why remain silent beyond her original denials? And if she were ever to speak again, what would motivate it now? Truth? Self-protection? Changing alliances? Time creating distance from fear? Or simply exhaustion from being tied to a story she insists isn't real? There is no verified evidence proving a conspiracy. There is no official ruling suggesting foul play. There is no documented link connecting Jay-Z to anything criminal in this situation. What exists instead is a combination of timing, silence, celebrity power, and the internet's refusal to forget. And that's why the story keeps resurfacing. Not because new facts have emerged, but because unanswered questions linger in the space between official statements and public suspicion. The real mystery may not be what happened medically. It may be why, years later, people still feel like they're missing something. And until either new evidence appears, or someone directly involved chooses to speak again, that tension will remain unresolved.